So create a new layer. Here's my cone shape. So this one, we're going to use the shape and line tool again. So we're going to start with the ellipse tool, and it's going to create an oval. Okay, so mine just turned out white there. If you want it to be a different color, just go up here to the fill, and you can go ahead and select that. I'm going to do kind of a purple. Okay, so once you have that, you can just go ahead and press enter. And now from here, we want to right click in this gray space, rasterize that layer so we can make edits to it. Let's go back to that line tool. And from the very curve here, we are going to click and drag a shape up. Remember, if you have a hard time seeing your line, you might need to change the weight of the pixels up here. Mine's at 10 right now, and that's good for me. Okay, so now we're almost done with this shape here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click this line that I just created, and I'm going to duplicate it. Press OK. And then you have to click and drag that across. So now it'll be exactly perfect matching, but it's not the right angle. So what you are going to do is you're going to go Edit, Transform, and Flip Horizontal. Then you will drag it here to lock it in place. Now, you can see that it's not quite, needs to be a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of those shapes, Command T. Well, I'm going to select one at a time. Command T. And I'm just going to drag this up a little bit to make it taller. Do the same thing with this one. So that they create a point. Move that down. So where they're crossing there, now what you're going to do is we're going to merge these layers together. So you do that by selecting the first one that you want, holding down Shift and just clicking again. Right click in the gray space or Control click, and just go ahead and do merge layers. So now this is all one shape. Take your eraser tool if you have to fix that spot and just kind of erase that out. Okay, so now we are ready to complete this. So since our layers are merged, we can just use the bucket tool. I'm going to select this color. And we are just going to fill in this shape. If you get that line there, not a big deal. You can just click again because we're going to be covering over it. So now, in order to make this look as if it's three-dimensional, we want to select the area. So there's two ways you can go about doing this. You can use this tool here. It's probably set at the quick selection tool, but you right-click it and it's called the magic wand tool. If you just click it, it highlights everything that's of that color, okay? So now I'm going to take my brush tool and I'm going to do the same thing that I did before with my sphere and my cube of adding in some darker and lighter colors. So I'm going to start with the light. Remember, my light side is over here. That's what the practice we've been doing. So I'm going to just add in this. And this is going to look a little stripy as we get going here, but it will start to make more sense as we start using that mixer brush tool together. And then I'm going to just add, I want this shadow part to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to make this side darker here. Okay, so now this time when we shade it together, it's important to shade with the form. So I'm not going to be shading up and down, okay? I'm going to be shading side to side. So go to that mixer brush tool, and I'm going to start by pulling the colors this way. And I have to do it a section at a time. If I just go like this, sometimes the colors will mix way too much together. So I'm just doing this side first, and then I'll move over to the next one. Okay, so as you go in, you might need to add in some more colors and things like that, but you can do Command D to deselect. And then you can see that these forms are kind of coming together a little bit. One thing that I'm going to quickly show you, let's say that you're like, oh, you know what? I kind of wish I didn't do purple here. Well, one thing you can do is you can right click on this brush tool and you can go to the color replacement tool. Let's say you want it to be blue. You can select this, and in some of the areas, you can go over top of it. Now, it's not going to always work everywhere. Some colors are going to work a little bit different than others, so you have to be aware of that. So here, got to turn up that tolerance. So you can see here that that did a pretty good job of changing the color totally. So that's a really easy way that you can just kind of do a color overlay by going to the color replacement. So I will show you your last form in the next video.